Welcome guys, this is Chino again with Scrapping That Radio at Mama's Boys Gym in Yorktown, Virginia. With me today is the G-Man Giovanni and Nick, promoters of this Saturday's EPIC MMA battle. Alright guys, tell me a little bit first, what's the card looking like? We got how many fights?
We have 11 fights, and four of those fights, well, three of those fights are actually part of our four-man tournament. So we have 11 really good fights coming up.
Alright, great. Now, we're looking at the bantamweight for the tournament fights.
Yes, 135 division.
Great. So what brought you into MMA? I know you're a Muay Thai man.
Well, I started obviously like everybody else, got into it by the UFC. I started training in 1995 with Steven Quadro, the fight professor, and I used to train at Beverly Hills Jiu-Jitsu with Bas Rutten, Pedro Hiz, and all those guys. And then in 96, I was down near San Diego, and I went to my first smoker, watched it, and I said I could do this. And then 3 weeks later, I had my first fight. And then I've been fighting. I fought for 13 years. I stopped fighting in April of 2009.
Wow. What about you, Nate?
I wrestled in high school and college. When I got out of wrestling in college, I still wanted to do something, but I really didn't know what. UFC just started out. It was the exact same time, 95. I met a Japanese jiu-jitsu instructor, and we started taking class from him, started touring around a little bit, and I don't know, just kind of started training ourselves, if you will. Went to a couple seminars, went to a couple different guys, and I found that for me, grappling and wrestling just came very, very easily. I could pick up on it well. I had good hips. I could control people well. So my motivation for fighting was never really to fight. my motivation for fighting was we opened a school and we're training people, and I'd have people come in and say, well, how can I learn from you? You never fought. So I started to fight. I haven't fought for 13 years, but I am undefeated. I'm 13-0, and I've never had a fight go to decision. I've won all my fights by knockout or submission. I only had one fight hit the second round. I consider myself a grappler. I would much rather submit somebody than to knock them out. I think it's more difficult to submit somebody than to knock them out. Of course, it's my opinion. You might feel a little bit different. I absolutely love the sport. I love training fighters. I love training wrestlers. I get more worked up watching my guys fight than I ever did when I fought. I loved it. I loved the crowd. I loved the feeling of winning and all that. That was great. But when you're coaching somebody through it, it's a lot more difficult because you can't do it. You can't do it. You've seen them do it. You want to get in there. I absolutely love the sport. Met him.
7, 8 years ago.
7, 8 years ago, he was at a different school, I was at a different school, and we decided we'd open Modern American together. Opened it up, ran it for a while in a bunch of different locations, kind of got shifted around, and then he left Modern American for a little bit, just financial stuff. He left financial stuff. I continued to run it. We brought in some instructors, brought up some students that were instructors, or that were students, now made them instructors, and he comes back now more on a hit and miss, comes in and trains. We have one professional fighter that we trained from the time she was 16, Bethany Marshall.
Bethany, yeah.
So whenever she has a fight coming up, he always comes back in to help her. He helps some of the guys that are just at a little higher of a level.
So talking about the school, just a little bit, let the people know what we had to offer.
Modern American Mixed Martial Arts is an MMA school. That's it. We teach submission grappling, Muay Thai, freestyle, and Greco-Roman wrestling. We train to fight in the cage. We're not a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school. We don't train in gis. You won't fight in gis, so we don't train in gi. The attitude of submission grappling is a lot more aggressive than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We never pull guard as an offensive weapon. We never go to our back. The last place you want to be in a fight is on your back. I don't care how good you are on the ground. The last place you want to be is on your back. You get hit with a couple of shots. You have no place for your head to go except off the floor. It's a good way to get hurt. It's a good way to get knocked out. it's not that we don't train from our back, I mean, because sometimes you get put there, but you never go there on your own. Let me pull this guy on top, it just doesn't make sense. So we train that way. We have kids programs that start at 4 years old. We have women's self-defense programs. We have cardio conditioning classes, combat conditioning classes, and MMA classes, as well as the Muay Thai submission wrap.
Definitely. Great. So you heard it here. EPIC MMA, Saturday night, 7:30. Doors open, right?
Doors open 6, first
Doors
fight
open
is about
6.
7 o'clock.
First fight starts at 7 o'clock. Be there or be square. Thank you.